The opinions and recommendations expressed by Dan are his own and do not necessarily represent the opinions of this station or any of the show's sponsors.
Welcome back. Financial Issues, 866-300-9298, 866-300-9298. Wanda, how much, I was talking to Wanda. Wanda's from Texas, has some question. Wanda's retired, has a little bit of investment money. Wanda, tell me, where is the money that you have now? Where is it? What is it in?
I'm looking at my statement. It's with Fidelity, and I'll just tell you what it says on here. And like I said, I'm like a kindergartner with understanding this. It's a rollover IRA, and do you want the different companies it's with? I've got some stock holdings.
And it's an IRA, right? And it's and it's 90. Is this money that you're using to supplement your income on a regular basis, Wanda?
No, I don't. Like I told you before, everything is paid for. So what I'm living off of my Social Security, and so I'm able to pay my bills through the Social Security. So
and do you have other
use this money?
Do you have other savings?
No, this is all.
Okay, and you're taking your minimum required distribution? I guess every year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are you doing with that? Do you just put that in? When you get that money.
Well, when I said yes, sir, I haven't made me start doing it yet, but I know it's coming up. So I don't know how that works either.
How old are you? How old are you, Wanda?
I'll be 70 this month.
Okay, so next year you'll have to take that minimum required distribution. I would take that distribution and put it in your savings. Here's the thing that I don't want you to be fearful with all the news and everything that you hear. I don't want you to live by fear. You're in a unique situation is that you're the epitome of what I talk about when I say how important it is to get out of debt. Because when you don't have any debt, it's pretty amazing what you can live on. And that's why it's important. It's one of the biggest things that we need to do, and that is to get ourselves out of debt. So you've done a great job there, and that's wonderful that you're able to do that. Now, I would like you to start, though, I don't want you to be totally conservative on this. I can't speak too much about Fidelity. I don't use, mutual funds, but I would say this. I would tell them that you have, you mentioned that you had a stock, one of the stock mutual funds. And I would say, and you might want to write this down, I would call them and say that you want about 25% of what you have in that stock portfolio. And the rest of it, you want in your money market account for now. When the dust settles, if we have a dramatic downturn or something happens that, or one of those things that you're afraid of happens, then it might not be a bad idea to take a little bit more and take that 25% of stock position that you have and make it 30 or 35% and keep the rest in mutual funds. But for now, I think it's important that you don't have a whole lot of mutual funds, that you stay relatively conservative. You don't need a lot of different mutual funds anyway, because when the market is up like it was last year, you probably did okay. When the market is down, they're all going to be down. And I would just as soon see you have a U.S. domestic stock fund, and you might want to say value fund on that. And they have Fidelity has one. It's a good one. And that's all you should be in. I would just be in that with about 25%, no more. And the rest you should be in the money market account.
U.S. domestic stock, and what was the other one you said?
No, it's all the same. U.S. domestic value fund, stock value fund. And the other one is a money market account. Just a money market account. And they'll do that for you. And I think that that's a very conservative place and position for you to be, and I think it makes a lot of sense, and I wouldn't do anything else.
Okay. Are you there?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, and thank you very much, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate that. Folks, I talked a little bit about it yesterday. I mean, stop reading all the blogs and all the websites. I mean, I'm hearing prominent people in the economic world talking about things that are on blogs that have no. I've heard people on other networks talk about things from an economic standpoint that have no basis of truth. I mean, I'm not saying they're not true. I'm just saying there's no, you can't find the facts to back so much of it up. So much of it is based on theory, assumptions, and hypothetical situations. So, we can't live our life based on hypothetical scenarios, things that might happen. There's a lot of things that might happen. We don't want to live in that fear. I mean, should we look at some of it? Sure, we should look at some of it because anything is possible. We know that, but let's work with the facts and what we know. And what we know of the facts is bad enough. Let's not get caught up in all the conspiracy theories and all the other fear that all are peddling that fear so that they might be peddling some sort of product, a newsletter, a one-time buy this DVD for $29.95, whatever it is. They're all peddling something and they're all making millions off the fear of so many other people. Listen, it's been going on since ancient times. If you've got something to sell, there's a very simple way to become very successful and make a lot of money in the sales of that. You scare everybody to death and then you give them a solution to their fear. That's what these sales models, that's what they're built around. I'm going to scare you, and then at the very end, I'm going to say, wait a minute. Don't be afraid. I've got a solution for you, and here's what it is. It's been going on for years, for probably since currency came into place in antiquity, and they were selling products. So let's not get too caught up in that. Let me go to Doris. Doris calling us from Mississippi. Hey, Doris.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had a question. I was applying for a car loan, and a couple of years ago, due to medical problems, we had to file bankrupt. So my denial on my loan from my credit union said that not sufficient credit opened since filing bankruptcy. My thought was that just don't do anything, don't open nothing. We do have a mortgage. Just let everything just stay at no credit, no credit cards, no nothing, and it would build your score. Right now, my score is like 600, and was just waiting for it to build up. So is it advisable to go ahead and open accounts to reestablish the credit?
Well, here's the thing, Doris. It is the only way you can reestablish credit, unfortunately. But my concern always is the discipline factor in doing it. And I can't speak to that, but you can. You can. You know yourself. And if you do it and you open up a credit card and you use it every once in a while, you pay a couple of payments, minimum payments, and then you pay it off. Then you charge something else, and you pay a couple of payments again, and you pay it off. You can start establishing some credit. And there's nothing wrong with that. And frankly, it's the only way you can establish credit. Would I only tell you that because it's one of the few ways you can do it. But if you feel one inkling in your, soul that you're not disciplined enough to do that, or you have a volatile income stream where you might be late even one day. If you're late one day, it's going to hurt your credit. It's not going to help it. Or you could, do this repeatedly to where it builds up to the point where you can't pay it off after a few months, then I would not do it. I would think I would rather, just you need to stick to your guns because your original thoughts were correct. I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to want to do it. I'm not going there again. That was, a good place to be. So all I can say to you is, and just advise you that if you do that, it is true. It's the only way you can do it. But if you do it, that you're incredibly disciplined and have a lot of control when you do it. When you get that credit built up, tear them up. Don't cancel the card because that hurts your credit. But, cut them up, throw them away, and just go about your business as if you don't have them. And I think so it's going to be up to you as to whether you feel you can do that.
Okay, one more question.
Sure.
I have a card that I did not include in the bankruptcy, and I'm paying those notes every month on time. Is that not being reported?
No, that should be recorded. That should be helping your credit.
It should be. So
it should
I need to check with that financial lending company to make sure they are reporting that.
Yes, absolutely, Doris. You need to do that because that should help. That should be helping your credit. How long has it been since the bankruptcy?
2 years.
2 years. Well, that's one of the other reasons. I mean, it usually takes a few more years before it really. So even that, the poor credit score as a result of the bankruptcy right now, because it's only been 2 years, is far outweighing any benefit from that. And that's the problem. So I think that it's probably more of that time issue to where you've got to get 4 or 5 years down the road with that before it really starts impacting. So that may be the bigger issue.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Doris.
Thank you very much. All right.
You're welcome. Thank you for the call. 866-300-9298. Let me go to Virginia calling us from Florida. Hi, Virginia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for your ministry. You are such a blessing.
Oh, thank you.
I have been listening for several months, and I hear you say liquidity is the key. We need to have savings put aside. So when our stock market and this economy tanks, that we'll have some money available. My husband is retired from the military. He's very healthy. We both are healthy. We're both retired. We're 65, 55. We're debt free. We've sold our home and with an inheritance and selling our home, we within the past 5 years have built a home and retired. Like I said, we're debt free. We have an IRA that's roughly $75,000. We have stock at ExxonMobil, in the $30,000 range, and money market accounts. And we also have PIMCO. And I recall you saying something about PIMCO several months ago, like, get out of it. Don't, you know. And I'm wondering, we have roughly $30,000 in that, and we've watched, of course, it started at 50, and of course, it's just gone down.
Well,
is that something we should get out of? Just sell?
Well, here's the thing, Virginia. I don't know that I would now. Back in April, I even sent out an alert to my partners to get out of all bond mutual funds. And I didn't qualify and say not this one or not that one. I said all of them, get out now. And so because I was anticipating, based on what I was seeing, this very thing happening, and it did. And it happened about a month after that alert went out, and the bond fund started to go down dramatically. And I got calls in October, saying, I got your alert, but I didn't do it, and now it's down. Should I get out now? I think at this point, because it is, you've had this loss, it's probably you got to do one or two things. I'm okay with you staying in and riding it back up, Or the other thing is you transfer the asset. What I mean by that is you do get out and put it right into something else that might have a better chance of going up. But anything else that you go into is also going to have a greater chance of further loss. So I would hang in there. I'd stick with what you have, Virginia, and just ride it out at this point. Thank you for the call. I'm right up against the back of this hour. I'm going to thank everybody for being with us. Financial Issues, I'm Dan Celia. We're trying to help all of you be good stewards of what God has given you. That's what we're here for. Thank you for joining us.